If you're new here, it is time for this week's Pac-12 Power Rankings. We have a lot of movement. Let's go ahead, take a look at what we've got. We've got a new number 1. The Arizona Wildcats reclaimed their top spot in the Pac-12 Power Rankings. I know Saul was irritated. I know Damon was irritated from the 1 week that I had Colorado at that number 1 spot, but I tried to explain it. These aren't standings. These are power rankings, okay? And the Arizona Wildcats, they took care of the team that I had as the number 1 team in Colorado. If you didn't see that score, it was 97-50, okay? Arizona took it personally, quoting you, Deion Coach Prime Sanders, if you didn't know, okay? It's personal. And Tommy Lloyd and company, they look like the real deal in Pac-12 play. I've got Oregon at number 2. They move up a spot. This is the other team in the Pac-12, not named Arizona State, that is undefeated so far in conference play. The interesting thing about Oregon is, unlike Arizona State, who is 10-5 overall in the season, the Ducks are 12-3. They are undefeated at home, and they are on a 5-game win streak, similar to ASU. This is a team that if you are an opposing Pac-12 foe, you do not want to see the Ducks right now, especially on their home court. Moving on to number 3, Colorado falling from 1 to 3. The Buffs had a real rough weekend in Arizona. Obviously, the big loss to the Wildcats and then a 3-point loss to the Sun Devils. Just a heartbreaker. Just an absolute heartbreaker for the Buffs. Look, this is a team that I think can continue to make some noise in the conference. I do think Colorado is a team worthy of a first-round bye when we're talking about the Pac-12 tournament. I think KJ Simpson is one of the best players in this conference, and I think they'll get it right. I think they ran into an Arizona team that was a little bit fed up after losing to Stanford, and then they ran into a pretty hot Arizona State basketball team. So that's why Colorado fell. Moving on from 3 to number 4. Look, I can't believe this is what we're talking about here. But in reality, guys, this is what we've got to do. The Arizona State Sun Devils are the number 4 team in the Pac-12 power rankings. I know there are going to be people irritated. And guess what? I don't give a shit, because the Sun Devils are on a 4-game win streak. They beat Utah. They beat Colorado. They're firing on all cylinders, and they don't look like the team that you saw against San Diego, Northwestern, or TCU. They look like the real deal. That's why I have them at 4. Utah at 5. When you're talking about rough weekends in the Valley, they had a bad one as well. SC, they're on the rise. From 11 to number 6, they've jumped 5 spots, the most we've seen thus far in the Pac-12 power rankings. Bronny James and company are starting to finally figure out how to play basketball in Los Angeles. They're on a 2-game win streak. 8-7 still overall. They have a lot of ground to gain. I've got Washington State at 7. Washington at 8. Washington, the next Arizona State opponent. If you're the Sun Devils, you can't afford to lose to the Huskies. And if you're the Huskies in this one, it seems like Washington just needs a win after a really rough national championship game on the gridiron for Michael Penix Jr. and company. Stanford at number 9. The Stanford tree remains one of the worst things in the conference, right along with their basketball and football team. Got the Oregon State Beavs at number 10. They fall a couple of spots. They were hot in non-conference play. They haven't been able to keep it up in conference play. I believe the Beavs are just 1-3 so far in conference play. Yeah, 1-3 for Oregon State, now falling to 9-6 overall. UCLA and Mick Cronin, eat your hearts out. You suck. You have fallen all the way to number 11. I can't believe in the last season of the Pac-12, the UCLA Bruins are choosing to go out alongside Oregon State as a team that is 6-9 overall. One of the worst records in the conference. Actually, yeah, they have the second worst record in the conference right now. Mick Cronin and UCLA. My goodness. I guess yelling at your players the way you do has proven that maybe, there are different coaching styles that work better than just screaming and saying your players suck. You also clearly miss Jaime Jaquez Jr. So UCLA at 11. And then, hey, we're going to keep it rolling here. Cal, just a real bummer. You're always bringing up the caboose, man, at number 12. It's almost like last year when we knew who the worst team in the conference was, so we just opted to put anything else that was worthy of being number 12 in the conference Cal, I don't know what else to tell you other than the ACC when you get there is not going to be any easier for you. Cal sports, not great. Cal basketball, not great as well. Guys, head to the comments. Let me know what you think of this week's Pac-12 Power Rankings.